There were two things I looked at. The immediacy of this with Joel Embiid and his relationship with Brian Colangelo. And it sounds like Embiid is placated by what Brian Colangelo told him personally, that he's not behind this, calling him some names here, talking about dancing at the Meek Mill concert after complaining about his knee injury or knee hurting. And then there's the bigger picture, or potential bigger picture, and that is free agents who may want to play there. I would certainly give pause to that if I'm one of these big-name guys. So you want to start with Embiid, or you want to start with potential free agents here on the impact it could have, potentially?
I think let's start with the potential free agents. You're exactly right. I mean, if you're a potential free agent and you're looking at this, and I'm just using a word that people in my family use, the younger people, it's a hot mess. I mean, it's one of these things where you don't want to go to an organization where a general manager or president is rumored, or not rumored, or reported to have burner accounts where he's criticizing people. And the thing is, these are certain things that, some of the things that came out or certain things that, reporters knew. Like, for instance, Embiid. We knew that, the Sixers weren't, happy with the way Embiid was doing things. Like, they weren't happy that he was at the Meek Mill's concert dancing. Now, publicly, they wouldn't come out and say it, but you knew it behind closed doors that they weren't happy. So if you're like a LeBron James or a Paul George, do you want to come into a situation like this? No. I mean, think about it. Right now, this is the time for the draft. So the Sixers are on the West Coast right now, going to these agent-run workouts. When they're walking in the gym, other teams are like, wow, look at them. They're not saying, hey, Brett Brown, hey, Brian, congratulations on winning 52 games and getting to the playoffs. They're saying, man, word is the GM has a burner account. No, 5 of them. So this isn't good. And in regards to Embiid, Embiid has a huge personality. He's a guy that, they say Sam Hinkie said trust the process. Well, people in Philadelphia will tell you that he is the process. And also being a part of the process, Embiid, for lack of, just being real with you, he does a lot of things that he wants to do. I mean, think about it. He criticized the team. He criticized them for not playing him. Like early in the season, they wanted to have a minutes restrictions. Next thing you know, he gets increased minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And then Embiid, the second time, when they lose Game 2 to the Miami Heat, he says, I'm sick and tired of this, and he wants to play. Next thing you know, Game 3, Embiid is playing. So Embiid does have a lot of power within the organization. And, so it's one of those things where, I don't know if, it's just hard, man. It's hard to say that, like, you would think that Brian Colangelo would have said some things that Embiid behind closed doors, like, hey, I don't like this, a man-to-man conversation with him. But the things that were said are things that everyone knew that the Sixers didn't like. Yeah. But it was to a point that Embiid had so much power, he has so much power, that he basically does what he wants to do.
The timing of this, because if this was Friday after Game 1 of the NBA Finals, it might not be as big. Or if there was a LeBron story, or, they got blown out by 25, and then, talking heads would be killing LeBron, that Michael would never be blown out in Game 1 by 25, that kind of rhetoric. But this is just sort of in that lull period here, the calm before the storm. But this is the storm before maybe the calm with the 76ers. I don't know if, I'm assuming team officials are investigating this with Philadelphia. I'm going to guess that you would. I would. I'd want to know what was going on in my house. But you have this, Brian Colangelo has been highly regarded. He's won the Executive of the Year twice. He did great things in Phoenix. He did great things in Toronto. He was good at his draft picks. Philadelphia, he's done well. But the fact that somebody wants to give Sam Hinkie, who coined the phrase, the process, and give him a little more credit here, And that would bother Brian Colangelo, or at least give the impression that it bothered him. That's what's amazing. Yeah, McLovin.
There is a lot of heat around Sam Hinkie still in Philadelphia. I mean, a lot of people love him, think he revolutionized the team.
He didn't.
Well, that's what people think. For nerds like me, who analytics guys, who all of a sudden smart guys can have an impact on the game. Sam Hinkie's a big deal. Daryl Morey's a big deal. Colangelo represents the exact opposite. He's old school.
Yeah, but I get Daryl Morey. You know, an analytics guy. I understand that, you know, that we're using all of the data that we use in baseball, and we're trying to use that in basketball, and we use it in football. I understand that. But Sam Hinkie, to say, here is the process, we're going to be systematically bad. Like, the product we put on the floor, they're going to really try hard. We're just not going to put a good product on the floor, even though they're trying hard. And then you're going to say that's the process? Oh, that's just called tanking.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and look at the draft picks they've whiffed on.
Well, yeah, but those drafts were terrible, and the ping pong balls didn't go their way.
You got nothing out of Nerlens Noel and Jahlil Okafor. You whiffed on those guys.
We, like everybody, we missed on Porzingis, but the Nerlens Noel draft, there was nobody in that draft. It was the Mario Betta draft.
You can't say that this is the process when you whiffed on these. You whiffed on the third pick overall in Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah, but
you whiffed.
That's not the process. Is just to provide those opportunities.
So you got Joel Embiid, okay, and he might be great. He's fragilely great. Ben Simmons appears to be a very good player. Markelle Fultz, not so much.
Right, but that wasn't the process. That was pure Brian Colangelo. The process never. The
process got them in the position to draft Markelle Fultz, correct?
No, because the process got them the third pick. Then they traded up a future first-round pick to get up to 1.
Okay.
Hinkie cut time. I mean, you can only do so much with it.
I know. This whole process thing drives me crazy.
You're right. It does sound a lot like tanking.
Did Cleveland have the process to get LeBron James?
Oh, yeah.
Right? They just had a bad product on the floor.
Did they tank a little bit to make sure?
No, they did.
Yeah.
Yes. John Lucas was the coach. Yes. He said that we tanked.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.